Hello and welcome to Cocktail Blog number 17. Let's get right to it. This is a beer. Cheers. Okay, well, the full moon is up, and it's up again. We have essentially two full moons. Last night, the moon was, for all intents and purposes, full. And today, for all intents and purposes, it's full because the actual instant of full moon was around noon today. So we're seeing it a little bit on one side and a little bit on the other. So two full moons. Fortunately, it is coming up a little bit later. I did get this nice picture of it coming up over the mountains, and that was fun. But it's going to be another night of complete washout. So I have been occupying my time with things somewhat astrophotography related. I've been researching new targets. As the moon comes up a little bit later and a little bit later each night, I'll have a couple of hours after dinner before the moon comes up where I can catch some of the things off in the west that have been getting lower and lower and lower. One of those targets is the Centaurus A, which I have like 6 subs on already, and I need, 50 or 60, so I'll try and rush through that. It's a small little galaxy. It's a very quintessential southern hemisphere target, and I'd like to get it even before it gets away, even if it is essentially too small for the rig that I have. But we'll get what we can get. The Helix Nebula came out okay, and it was too small too, so we'll see what we can get. So I've been occupying my time doing some music things. I have been working on a chart for the band, for Tower of Funk, called Funk des Decepção. And I know I'm murdering that title because it's in Portuguese. And the lyrics for this song are in Portuguese. But it's a great song, great groove, great horn section, easy to sing if you speak Portuguese. So I've been wanting to do this song since before I even had this band. When I was doing Airbnb, I had a lady stay with me who was from Brazil, and she spoke Brazilian Portuguese. And so I emailed her a copy of the lyrics, and she translated them for me. And she did a good job, but the problem with translating song lyrics is that you can't just whip open the dictionary and translate according to the dictionary, because some of the words that you get are not words that you would want to use in a song, like treachery. And, of course, when you go from one language to another, the rhyme scheme is all busted. So basically, you have to kind of look at what the translation is and then write something in English that's not too much different than the intention of the line of the song that still syllabically matches the melody. So I had gone through the whole process of writing down the melody and trying to come up with something. I had something that worked, but it was still a little awkward. So I enlisted the help of Mary Mangus to help me go through it and say, this really isn't all that singable, and you could change these lyrics here and it would be easier to understand, and that kind of thing. So she did a great job. We went back and forth on this a couple of times last week and finally ended up with something. And then I asked her to put on some earbuds and sing the English version into her iPhone to the backing music track that I had sent. And she did that, and I took the recording that she sent and laid it on top of the music track, and we now have an English demo. I want to let you hear a little bit of that. Here's some of the Portuguese version and then some of the English version.
Eu vou vivendo, eu vou lavando, mesmo depois de losing your love. I'm gonna ache, but I will sing, even knowing you're the cause of my pain. When you love to distract me, to eat the endless pain. Can I cry? What else can I do? When you love to distract me, to eat the endless pain. There's a heartache for loving you.
So that was real fun. I spent most of yesterday going through all the horn parts and writing them all down, because there's no chart on this that you can buy. You basically have to listen and write it down. I also sent a copy of this to Mark, our guitarist, who I affectionately and lovingly refer to as the chord police in the band, because, I know music theory, but guys like him and keyboard players, they understand harmony on a fundamentally more detailed level. And so when I see a chord that could be F sharp minor 7 over A, he sees something completely different. So I am happy to let him go through it and tell me what these chords are. I got most of it, but I'm sure he's going to have just that next level of refinement. So I'll add those to the chart. And once I know what the chords are, I'll harmonize the horn parts where they need to be harmonized according to the correct harmony. So that was pretty much all I did yesterday. I have, however, come up with a nice project for astrophotography for when the moon's up. I'm going to track down Pluto. I have never seen Pluto, and you actually don't even see it because it is so far away and so small and so dim that you can't just put a telescope on it and see it. It comes in at magnitude 14.4. And just to give you an idea how dim that is, the dimmest star that you can see is about magnitude 5 or 6. And every 5 magnitudes is 100 times fainter. So this is nearly 200 times fainter than the dimmest star you can see with your eye. However, I did notice on the chart that it is within the same field of view as a recognizable star cluster called M75. Having the presence of that in the frame, plus a couple of easy to recognize, there's a double star and a couple little galaxies in there, I think I might be able to track it down. But you can't just see it on one frame. If you're going to find it and be sure that you found it, you need to take 2 versions of the picture. For instance, today's Monday, so if I was to do it today, I would take this picture. And then I would go back, get the telescope pointed at exactly the same point in the sky, with the camera rotated exactly the same way, and take another 10 pictures of it. And the one dot in the frame that has moved, that's Pluto. And that's the way Clyde Tombaugh found it in 1930, and that's the way I'm going to find it, because you just can't look at it and see it. Well, the light is failing here. I've been working on the food blog. I sat down with Franz, the wine steward, today, and we did a little interview. And that was fun, and I'll include that as part of the food blog, and I'll be getting to that. But in the meantime, this is Bill the Sky Guy in failing light. Maybe you can see Venus over my shoulder. I don't know. It's up there. Carpe Noctem. P.S. When I got my laundry back the other day, there was other things inside it, and I went and had a look, and it was all this stuff. And I wondered, are they trying to tell me something?